Oh, yes, it does. Okay, let's do it.
Looks like Slush will have to change to red, QXC blue, so that way the colors can be the same as in the last game.
Right. QXC is the higher seed, excuse me, Slush is the higher seed, and higher seed will take red, lower seed taking blue, but QXC doesn't matter if he's the lower seed, he is going to play like he is already the winner. I think if anyone is looking for a favorite right now, QXC is a kind of easy bet.
Oh
He
yeah,
did
oh yeah.
basically not really have to put too much effort ahead in order to win that last one, but of course things will be a lot different here now.
And it looks like in close positions we have our two opponents spawning. We have in the north ROOT.Qxc as the blue Terran, the lower seeded Terran, because again Slush did achieve second. And on the right position we have Slush as the red Zerg. QXC noting that drones are scary. QXC saying why not do it on steps though with a little obnoxious double OO face.
And he says, I'm short on time.
Was but blistering. His longer rush.
His longer rush. He's right. Yep, he's right.
Less obvious.
Well,
Oh, mind games. QAC says, ah.
and you know, he did do, the one thing Slush did very well was not give that rush up until the drones were actually seen at the ramp there. He did control him really well, got him out of view of that initial SCV, but that was that. So it looks like we are going to have a pretty standard opening by both these players.
Does look like QXC is just poking around the left side, or excuse me, the right side of his base. Just investigating to see if there is an overlord there. Indeed, he finds it. There is the other SCV now going to the barracks, just building a wall off at the front. Slush pretty comfortable with the fact that he's likely going to be getting an easy expand, but QXC did spot that overlord. Doesn't look like he's going to get there in time, though.
No, I don't think he is. He's going to have enough minerals to throw down that hatch, and there it is. So Slush going to go ahead and go with a hatch first opening. Pool right behind it. Overlord will see the barracks, pretty much everything else that's going on. Gave away that position, but that's okay. And we got another drone heading out here, and I haven't seen Pool yet. There it is. Pool going down now.
Pool going down. A lot of players you see do a 14 hatchery, and then followed up with a 16 pool or a 15 pool. They try to squeeze in more drones, but it looks like Slush feeling a little bit more leery knowing his opponent is QXC. QXC, oh, Slush looks like he is moving that Overlord to the fringe. Going to try to hide it up there, but QXC would not be surprised to see him lift off his barracks just to do the intentional kill on the Overlord, but no. Bunker Rush looks like it is en route for QXC. He is pulling back, and it looks like he's going to do his usual long-distance bunkering.
Yep, there it is. In fact, the Overlord is going to see that. So how will we get response by Slush? Here come a ton of drones, 7 to be exact. They are going to move down this ramp, and that Marine is pretty close. The barracks is about, excuse me, the bunker is just a little more than halfway done. We're going to have drones take out the Marine or go after him. Meanwhile, a couple of drones now trying to work on this SCV, and he does manage to take him out. So he has probably stopped that and killed that Marine. So very nicely done by Slush.
And look at this, only 4 Zerglings being made by Slush. Amazing response right there. He is going to go right back to drone production now that he is completely safe at the front door. It does look like the Marine's still being rallied. QXC is en route to a factory, getting that second refinery as well. Probably going to be following it up with Banshee harassment, but Slush has been playing this off very well, getting 1 queen at the expansion. Could be getting that 2nd queen in the main pretty soon, but either way, very, very strong response.
Yep, and here comes another SCV, a few more Marines. They are moving forward. Zerglings are going to actually split up and see there are a few more Marines than he would have liked to see. That may force some Lings out of here, but he's going to actually just go ahead. He's got that Spine Crawler, so he can be pretty safe, and his Queens just popped. We're going to have 1 at each location. He got 1 in his natural first, 2nd one in his main, and that's about all he's getting right now, continuing the drone production as well as getting some more Overlords. And here come those Marines and a Hellion.
Looks like he's going to try to swing around the south side to get any little damage that he can get done, and it looks like that 1 Spine Crawler does not have range coverage on the south side, so that means QXC is going to be relentlessly drilling into that 1 spot, and we do see that there is an armory and a tech lab in production, so the Thor drop appears to be right around the corner.
Yep. And we are going to see the armory almost, no, is it? Yes, it is envisioned. So putting that Overlord there is actually going to turn out to be really good. Of course, he has stopped any sort of mining over here at the natural expansion. He does see that armory, though, so Slush should have a good idea of what is on the way. The question is can he be ready for it?
Just now getting enough money for the Thor, but no investment in the Thor yet, as he is supply blocked, trying to poke forward, do a little bit of damage to that Queen, and as usual, Qxc just seems to be the Queen killer in this series. Now looping all the way around to the backside to get some more drones off. Keep in mind, this is generally Qxc's curse. He is a little bit too aggressive sometimes with those 8 Zerglings popping out, and more no doubt underway. Could be a very fast surround by Slush, but man, that Thor is very close to being finished.
And just a perfect read by Qxc here, knowing the limitations on where he can move those Marines and that Hellion. They are going to move it for the attack. Speedlings come out. He is not going to be ready for that. Will it escape? No, all units taken out there, and he did reposition his Spinecrawler. Took out some mining time, as we saw, but there's no expansion for the Terran quite yet. Here comes several SCVs. Where is he going with these 4 SCVs?
Oh, he is going to sneak these around to the south side. He's going to pop them over by the gold, and then he will load them into that medevac to heal the Thor, but no, Slush knows that sort of trickery.
Yeah.
Try to head right back on home. It looks like Qxc's going to meet it in the middle of the map. Again, more trademark care for every single one of those units. Qxc going to make sure that he can ride those all the way on over. Going to pick these Zerglings off one at a time. And oh, he loses another SCV. So even though there's just one SCV up on the high ground, can still be quite potent.
All right, I like this. We've seen a couple other players do this as well. How do you respond to it? You've got the Spinecrawler. You're going to get vision with that Overlord, but also, why not get Ventral Sacks? Why not have the opportunity to drop some roaches up there to take care of business? And I believe that is going to be exactly what he's going to go for here. The Spinecrawler is getting attacked right now. There is no vision for Slush at this point in time. He's going to drop the 1 SCV up there and be able to repair. Overlord does not have speed, and that is going to come out as well along with the sack, so he'll continue this roach production and then hopefully drop up there, get rid of this Thor, and that'll be all she wrote.
And it looks like Qxc, instead of opting to get some sort of huge kill on the hatch, is instead favoring a little bit more of the Overlord killing action. Could actually do a swift drop, pick off this Queen if he wanted to as well. In the meantime, though, the big question is how will Qxc be able to hold off some big counter drop? We're seeing a lot of roaches now dart to the south side. Looks like he will be picking off nothing.
Yeah.
And a Thor drop in the main, though.
Another Thor drop in the main. There it goes down right on top just as he's about to finish with his speed and his sack upgrade, and he's not going to have a whole lot of units. In come the roaches, and here's where it can get scary because Qxc can now move this Thor down to the expansion while all these units, instead he's just going to pick up that Thor, and what is the worker count right now? 30 for Qxc, 24 for Slush right now. And he can now, here we go, he's going to pick up these roaches and send them all over with a bunch of Overlords so they don't know exactly which one they're in. He might lose the one with 2. Yes, he does. But the ones with 4 in them, he will drop down. And, of course, all he has to do is just go ahead and put him on the low ground.
And he's going to be trying to target fire that Queens first. He needs to be really careful. And more Overlords getting picked off by Qxc, who is now setting up his expansion. Bunkers at the front, more Marines out, more Thors in the back. Thor drop still doing damage in the main. Very close to picking off this layer. And there's the good game from Slush.
Qxc just playing ridiculously well in that. You know, again, Slush having the right idea, but Qxc knew. He's like, okay, he knows that he knows how to deal with this. He's going to sack up and drop some roaches on me. So I'll follow up with a second drop, put it in his main, get his entire army out of the way, then ferry his Thor back down, and just juggle that harassment back and forth. That has been 2 quick games. Of course, Slush kind of handed him the first game, just wrapped in a nice Christmas package with a bow and all, a card and everything. And in the second game, Qxc just... man, he just kind of rolled over Slush. So
yeah, and you know, it's always a little disappointing for a player when you have a clear game plan and it never gets to get off the ground. If you choose a map like Lost Temple, you're not really thinking to yourself, man, I hope I lose to a Thor drop so we can get it over with easy. I mean, you're probably thinking to yourself, I hope he Thor drops so I can do a big Roach counter drop, and especially in those positions, it's a little bit hard for the Thor drop to work as well, and it's easy for the counter drop to work well, but Qxc just has this remarkable ability to control his units twice as good as everyone else. So suddenly, what would turn into a, yeah, you barely win with 4 Roaches, becomes a, yeah, I get totally demolished, I lose my 4 Roaches and that Overlord, and his Thor hasn't taken any damage yet. I mean, there wasn't even the 4 SCVs on the high ground to repair, it was just 1.
Right.
Still, that was fine.
Right. So we are going to be taking a quick break before we go ahead and move on to game number 3. I know game 1 was so short, it just seemed like we're just down there. But we will be back in just a moment, and when we do, we will find out if Qxc can capture his 3rd 3-0 in this competition. Could be amazing. I'm DJ Wheat.
And I'm Day 9.
And we still got a ton of action coming at you, so please do not go away.